My next guest, Ross Szabo, is the wellness director at Geffen Academy at UCLA and the CEO of Human Power Project. He is also the co-author with Melanie Hall of Behind Happy Faces, Taking Charge of Your Mental Health. Now, you talk about somebody that is in the trenches and knows what's going on here. We're talking to the man here. So, Ross, thank you so much for being here today. I'm so interested in hearing your insights on this, and I want to talk about your advice on how to have these conversations in the home. But thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. These stories are just really amazing, and it's so powerful to hear people sharing in this way. I have my own lived experience, went through a lot of trauma between the ages of 11 and 12, visited my brother in a psychiatric ward. I lost my grandparents and my best friend, all in the span of about 13 months.
Wow.
And nobody talks about this in schools. And so I learned at a young age to put on a happy face, make sure everyone else was okay, and hide it. When I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder at 16, that's what I continued to do. At 17, attempted to take my own life and started sharing my story when I was 17 and still in high school. And this just kind of grew it from there. Started the first large-scale mental health presentations in the country with the National Mental Health Awareness Campaign, and then started asking myself, like, awareness is great, but we need to do more. We need to teach mental health the same way we teach physical health. So I started a company in 2013 to create mental health curriculum, and then I was working with UCLA in 2016, and they said, what would you do if you got to start a school? And I was like, well, if we got to start a school, we should teach about mental health like we teach about physical health.
Yeah. And, you know, it's not, when we talk about teaching mental health in school, it's not about doing therapy. It's about teaching awareness. It's about teaching to overcome stigma. It's about teaching when people recognize, teaching them to recognize when something is out of balance, out of order, teaching what is okay and not okay in the home. It's about giving people some kind of yardstick to measure their function against what is healthy, right?
Yeah, I mean, the most basic thing is a lot of people don't have a clear definition of what mental health is.
Right.
Most people know the difference between a sprained ankle and a broken leg. They know the difference between having a cold and having the flu. We need to teach the difference between this is nervousness and this is anxiety. This is feeling sad and this is having depression. And then beyond that, I think what parents can really do is instead of having confrontation with your kids, try to have conversations. So we always talk about like, hey, what can we do to have that conversation before someone takes their own life? That has to happen a long time before that. We have to normalize mental health in the home where you're modeling the behavior you want to see and you're normalizing conversations around mental health so that when it gets to the point that someone may want to take their own life, they trust you.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.